before us go through the topic,
Let me
to
just
which
give
is
a brief,
how,
introduction about what I mean. Okay.
okay. Did I go ahead? Because I'm not. Okay. So I think I'll go ahead and share my screen. Yeah. Sorry. So you can see my screen here. Okay. So if we're talking about how to build a tech career that pays. So as a core branding of today is the skill, as the branding and your visibility. So so why tech? Yeah. Every industry like need tech talent from healthcare to finance to the banking sector to education. And if you take for example, we're having a virtual like call right now. So it's so this is being as a new boot by Google. So with tech, you can create a lot of use cases that can help like foster good solutions to the communities and to the world at large. So and tech offers flexible hours, remote work, and freelance option. So when you look at tech, yeah, so give you the ability to work at your own pace. So there are many job roles that you have today, being a medical doctor, being an um, engineer, you can become a tailor, you can become a fashion designer. Yeah. So, but so what tech offer you is you have the flexible hours. You can decide to work at any time you want. You can decide to work from home, which I currently do, and you have the freelance option. So you can be in Nigeria and you can work in any part of the world. Then, so salaries are often higher because when you're in tech, it gives you this ability to earn more. Yeah. Then there's room for everybody: a software engineer, a project manager, a designer, um, recruiters, and more. But I'll go to the next slide. So there are many skills that pays in tech. So you have technical, that's the coding. And so you have tools like you have Kotlin, you have Angular, you have SQL, you have React, and you build real project. And not technical are project manager. So you have tools like the Jira, the Trello, you have Monday, you have Hotspot, and you can also be a recruiter too in tech. So what I want you guys to know today is tech, it doesn't have to do with just writing code alone. There are many fields in tech. You can be a software developer, you can be a tech manager, you can be a recruiter, those that recruit so many tech talent. Then you can then so another core skill that pays actually is you need to have a strong communication skill, and you need to be able to solve problem, and you need to be able to adapt. When you are talking about problem solving, you need to understand that in tech, so the first solution is make sure that you know what you are doing. So, for example, you are given a task. So the first thing is you just don't open your system and start writing the code. So the first thing first is you need to understand what you are trying to solve. So we call it a pseudocode. So a pseudocode is when you write your solution in plain English language. Like, okay, so the first thing first, you have an home screen, then you develop a button. So if you can solve your solution, then you writing the code is will be very easy. And another core skill that pays is visibility. You show your results, and Ways for you to show your result is like through projects. You can go for internship. You learn and you grow yourself. You can so you can go for campaigns, and you, you have to go for features that you've contributed to. So I want to talk about branding. So there are many tools you can use to brand yourself. So the first one that I know of that, and many of us we know of, is LinkedIn. So you can write a strong bio, you highlight your achievements, and you stay active. I want to talk about LinkedIn. We all know LinkedIn as a platform whereby you come, you set up your profile. So it's not just about setting up your profile. It, there are skills like you need to have to set up your profile. So you just go on LinkedIn and just put a picture there and just no. You must sell yourself out. Branding is very important. As a software engineer, you go on LinkedIn and you let people know what you are doing. I'm an Android engineer, I'm a backend engineer, I'm a front-end engineer, I'm a tech talent a recruiter, I'm a product a designer. So LinkedIn is that platform whereby you can go to and sell yourself. Like she just more or less like you can go to and show yourself up off. Then why showing yourself off? You need to make sure that whatever you are selling out there must be real. You cannot just come on LinkedIn and just lie there that oh okay you've done this and this. So you must be able to tell tell, tell the talent like you must be able to tell your story because as anybody can just go on LinkedIn, just look for software engineers in so and so place, and your name might be the first to come up. So you must eh, make sure that you sell yourself, and you just write a short bio about yourself. Then you highlight your achievements. Then you stay active. It is very important. Then you have portfolios and blogs. Now, this is not just for software engineers, yeah, for both product designers, for any skill in tech. So it's not compulsory for you to have a blog, yeah, but make sure you should have a portfolio. What do I mean by a portfolio? A portfolio can be your CV. Your LinkedIn can be your portfolio. So you can just work on a feature or just build a small product and you tell your stories. Like you have to tell people you have to tell people what you are doing. You have to let people know what you are doing because you cannot just be in tech and keep to yourself. Like if you are in tech, you need to be able to expand. You need to be able to tell your story and tell it with passion. And you have to be real when telling your story. Like you have to share your thought process. You start small because I think I saw a story of um as of a guy that started like writing code from the first line of code and he as like 3 months so got someone saw it, someone saw his post and as the guy got a job on LinkedIn. So he started writing code. He was consistent day one. And so he went on LinkedIn and just posted what he learned that day, day two, till day 120. So it's possible for you to sell your thoughts, share your wins. Oh, you started front end development today. Oh, you just finished a course on Udemy. You just have to make sure that you let people know what you're doing because in tech you can't do it alone. You can't survive alone. You need people. So so for tech roles, you need to have a GitHub account or then yeah. So for software developers, yeah, your GitHub is like your portfolio. So whereby you have too many open source projects that you can go and contribute to, which is very important as a software engineer. Then for non-technical roles like recruiters, you can have a documentation of where people can go and see your work. Like in short, when you're branding yourself, be public. Be public. What do I mean by public? Make your profile public, you let people know that this is what you're doing. And you need to get recommendations and celebrate your milestone. So starting in tech, it takes a lot. If you decide to want to go into tech, you've made a very smart choice. I know it can be so overwhelming at the beginning. It can be so tiring, yes. But the results you get from being in tech, you'll be happy with yourself. So you need to get recommendation and celebrate milestones. And when you're branding yourself, you also need to build relationship. As I do put this in this slide, but it is very important. When you're branding yourself, you need to build a relationship, because in this so this tech world, relationship will take you far. A relationship it should be very important, like it's very important. So, like I said, the more you are public, the more you have opportunities. You can't be into tech and you are not out there, because when you think about it, how do you want to get jobs? Because so the more you are out there, the more opportunities will come to you. So you need to build a professional presence on Twitter and LinkedIn. Like I said, LinkedIn is a very powerful tool, a very, very, very powerful tool for those in tech, and Twitter too. You can just go there today and just say that, oh, I joined the virtual call today and I learned a lot about tech or something. Just let people know what you are doing. Now you attend or speak at local and virtual meetings, like what we are doing right now. Visibility is opportunity. If I'm not here today, you won't gain this knowledge I'm sharing today. You might gain it from someone else. True. But you need to put yourself out there. You can't be into tech and be shy or be timid or live a private life and be like, okay, no, you won't grow. You won't grow. So you contribute to open source. Like I said earlier, for tech roles, you need to contribute to open source. Then for recruiters, for project designers, you have communities. You have communities you can join. So you have Flutter Lagos, you have 100 London, 100 Berlin. Just look for communities to join. It is very important, because the community you join can take you far. The communities you join can take you far. Join tech and professional communities. Your network can open doors. Now, your network will open doors. So, and let me try to expand on visibilities and opportunities. So, as I'll tell you a story. So, the first job I got in tech was from a community. Someone posted on the group that, oh, they're looking for a software developer that can come work in Lagos and stuff. And then I just messaged the person. Then I submitted my CV. And then I got called for an interview, passed the interview, got offered the role. Now, just imagine I was not visible, or I was not in that community. Let's say I started learning in tech and I didn't join a community. So the reason why you see like a lot of people stranded in tech is because they don't put themselves out there. It like you need to put yourself out there. You need to join communities because they are very important. Your community will make you. Visibility is very important, because the your so because the more you are visible, the more opportunities. As I also come back to this, so landing high-paying jobs. I know it's like tech pays high and stuff, yeah, but there's a secret to landing high-paying jobs. Number one is your CV. Your CV is very important. You just don't so the thing is, you just don't go online to just more or less like create a CV. There's an hack to create a CV, and there's a way to create a CV. Now, a very simple way to create a CV is look for someone you know that is working in a reputable company. Ask for their CV, yeah, and use their templates for yours. That's the basic and the simplest way for you to make CV, because if it works for them, it will definitely work for you. An example, because so as I had a CV one time, and it was 4 pages. I thought my CV was the best CV. I was applying for jobs. I was not getting a call back. Then, so I spoke to somebody. Oh, as a player, I'd like to talk to you. Can you just send me your CV and stuff? So he sent me CV. I adjusted my details on his CV, and I started using the CV. Then, as I realized that I had a lot of interviews, it's simply because I had to customize my CV to so I had to look for a better opportunity, because I know that if it works for him, it will definitely work for me. So customizing your CV is the first step, because when you apply for jobs, nobody know your name, nobody know your face, nobody know your. But if there's anything I know, so for most jobs, as you go through automated system called, I think, HTS. So the AI, it's sieve CVs. So if your CV does not match the job description, you should not get a call back. So it's very important for you to make sure that your CV is optimized and it matches the job description. So for software developers, you need to learn real interview questions, like from elite code, like from a Glassdoor, and it is very important. So because there are some roles, or most tech jobs now require you to know DSA, which is data structure and algorithm, which it is very important for you to know, because it will help your problem solving skills. Now, know your market value and learn to negotiate. This is very important. I have seen some job descriptions that offer way less, like way less. So if you believe in yourself and you know your worth and you know the market value, you will learn to negotiate, because when you negotiate, you can get value for your money. Then for you to land high paying jobs, so you need to apply for remote roles globally. You can be hire friends in Nigeria that are working for companies in the UK, so in the US. So I also have worked with clients from all over the world, from US, from India. So because tech and digital roles are borderless, you don't need to be in an office for you to work in tech. So as I'm going to talk about the mistakes to avoid, don't jump from trend to trend without building trend, without building depth. As I know that, like, since the beginning of this year, there's been a hype about AI. AI is coming to take your jobs. AI is coming to do this. AI is coming to do that. You should not be scared. What you should do rather is to learn how to use AI to improve the way you work. I used ChatGPT a lot of times. Why? Because if I can get it simpler, so I just go there, as I put my prompt. So for you to write a prompt in ChatGPT, it means you know what you are doing. So you need to use AI to your full advantage, and don't be scared. AI is here and it's coming to stay. But what should you do is you should embrace it and improve yourself. Like, oh, how can I use AI to better my work as a software developer? Some years ago, if we have a problem, it, like it was somehow difficult to solve. Why? Because you have to go to Stack Overflow before we can be able to solve it. So, but now, so I can just go on ChatGPT and just put in some prompts, and it's just going to give me the solution. That is a smart way of working. So I've learned to use AI to my advantage, and it's to make me more um, faster, more efficient, and more smarter. Then don't underestimate soft skills like collaboration and time management. It is very important. If you really want to go find tech, you must learn like soft skills on how to collaborate, how to talk to people, and your time management has to be up notch. You don't get to meetings late. If a meeting is 7 o'clock, so you get you join the call 5 minutes before, because sometimes you, your network can fail you. But then you communicate ahead of time that, oh, so I'm sorry, as my network failed me or something. So your time management skill must be top notch, and it's your soft skills, how to talk to people, because you're talking to people from all over the part of the world. So it is not just Nigeria. You can work in a company now that has Nigerian, Indians, Chinese, a lot, like all over the world. So uh, and you so you need to learn how to listen before you speak. Like, you need to understand what they are saying. Sometimes it might be the language barrier when you work in a company that has many like so many nationality. You might not hear what they are saying, so you need to listen properly so you can get what they are saying. That's a soft skill. Not everybody can have the patience to listen, but if you take, you have to pay attention and and focus for you to be able to concentrate. So don't expect instant results. Progress takes consistency. I know this is one of the key things in tech. Some people might be lucky to start tech today, and in the next 3 months, it, they start making six figures. Some it might take years or months. So for me, it took me, let's say, 1 year. But what I as I was building in silence, so I was learning to write code in silence, and it is very important because Rome wasn't built in a day. So you need to don't expect that, okay, you should start learning tech today, then in the next 6 months you you start making 400,000. To some, it is very possible. It is highly possible in tech, but you also need to understand that sometimes the results might not be instant. So it's what you need to do. Continue building. Keep on writing your code. Keep on pushing your code to GitHub. Like, just keep on going to a lot of events. Keep on building connections, because all what you just need is just a single connection. Then don't do it alone. Connect with others in your field. Like like I said before, you can't do it alone. You need people. You need relationship for you to get far in tech. So my personal lesson. So what helped me was, as I was being curious, and then depth of community and consistency. As I said, the first job I got in Nigeria was through a community group chat. Then I started writing code since 2018, but as I wasn't that public, and so I was not visible enough. So that's one thing I learned now that I wish I learned quite some time was, I wish I'd focused earlier on visibility and being in public. Yeah. So that's my personal lesson. Then start where you are. Stay open to feedback. Very important. Very, very, very important. And keep showing up. Sometimes you have some bugs that will take you days to solve. And the only thing you just need to just do is just look at the bug from and like from another point of view. You just try to just do something else and just come up to it and you fix the bug. So real life examples because we've been talking about the theory, yeah. So now it should show you the practical um like so now so show you why branding and visibility is very important. So if you look at the first um image here, it is from LinkedIn. So that's why I said LinkedIn is very important. As if you're in tech, like your LinkedIn should be your social media account because with LinkedIn you have a lot of opportunities. So a recruiter reached out to me. So why did he reach out to me? He went to my profile. So he saw that okay, this person can be a good fit. Now you need to understand that can is different from will be a good fit. So can it be a good fit? So he reached out, then I responded. So I sent the CV to his email address and he had a call. Then I went for the interview and I got the job. Now it is not changed to I was a good fit. So the a lesson from the first slide is your LinkedIn is very important. I don't know him from anywhere, but I made sure I had a good storytelling profile on LinkedIn that, oh, even if a recruiter should go to, you'll be willing to reach out if you need my skill in your company. So the second slide was from a friend of mine. It's from a friend of mine. You can see it here, or I don't to zoom in for it. So the second slide was from a friend of mine, which is why you can't do it alone. You need to be visible. So the third slide, this one is quite funny or something. So my friend posted on his status that, oh, is there anybody available for a job and all that? And I said I was available. And he sent me the contact of the person and something. Then if you look at the dates, then I think 2 or 3 weeks later, I got the job. So the lesson here is you can't do it alone. Be visible. Let people know what you are doing. Don't 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 keep like don't keep silent. Like don't start tech today and okay, someone will ask you what are you doing and you say that okay, no, speak up. Let people know that oh, I'm into tech. I started writing code yesterday or something. I started building apps. I'm a project management. I'm a product manager. I'm a designer. Just make sure that your friends know what you are doing. This one was from a friend. This was from a friend. Just on the status. This was from a friend, and this one was from a friend too. But it was due to the fact that we worked on a project together, and what we built a good relationship. So he just reached out to me one day and he said he has a job for me. So this is a real life example of how branding, how your skills, branding, and visibility is very important. We can sit here all day and talk about the theoretical part, but so what you need to do, so what you need to know is that it is possible, and This is me receiving. I've also referred people to for jobs because I can't take all the jobs again. But if I know that okay, so I know that my friend is doing this, I just refer the person to this. So there was a time I got more or less like a gig or something, and it required a front end person and a back end person. So I don't do front end and I'm not doing back end. I do mobile application. So it's required front end, back end, designer, and the app a developer. Since I know mobile, so I stick to the mobile. So what did I do? I so I built my team, and my team consists of my friends, so those that I know that they are capable, that they can deliver um on the job, which simply means that if I didn't know, or if they never told me that oh they were doing something, or like they were doing something like in tech or something. So the summary is when you are visible, opportunities will come. You just don't be in tech and you keep to yourself. Let people know what you are doing. Let people know that you started tech, you've built one or two products, you are getting somewhere. Just show people your progress. Just show people your progress. And okay, so my final thought is build strong skill. Oh, so when we're starting in tech, don't chase the money, chase the knowledge. Learn learn the basics. Be good, because when you are good, the money will come. When you are good, the money will come. Build strong skill, brand yourself, and stay visible. It is very important. Your skill will take you far. So it did just tell you that if I wasn't good enough, or if I didn't know that I'm good enough, I might be timid and be scared and be like, oh, I can't do this job. I've been there because when I was starting out in tech, there will be this timid of, oh, someone has 10 years of experience. Some people have a 15 years of experience, but it is not the years of experience that matters. It should be quality over quantity. I've seen some people in tech that have 15 years, but that 15 years is not quality. So, so if you take me, my second point is be intentional, choose quality over quantity. Forget the number of 12 years, like in tech, but what? Choose quality. This is my hit in tech, but I've built over 20 mobile applications, and some and I know of someone that has 19 years and has built just five. So he has
Yes.
more quantity than me, but you can't compare someone that has built 20 to someone that has built five. So the quality will be different. So that just it, like choose quality over your quantity. Then whether you are building software, teams, or products, tech need you. Every industry needs tech. The healthcare, the financial sector, like the fashion sector, sports. I mean, everybody needs tech. So and that will bring me to the point of, do you have any questions to ask? Yes, you can bring any question, and I will try to answer to the best of my ability.
Thank you very much, Oluwaseun. It was actually amazing hearing all this. One thing that stood out for me was, the part of putting yourself out on LinkedIn, the collaboration, and improving quality, as you said. So please, if you have questions, we can just quickly put it in the chat box and then take it from there. I'll just give 2 minutes. But right before that, I have some questions of my own. So I'm going to start from maybe the last thing you said.
Yeah.
when you're like, oh, you're just starting out, and then you have maybe spent 3 months, 6 months, or even a year learning these things, building some projects at least. So how do you deal with imposter syndrome? Because no matter how, sometimes you just feel like, oh, am I really capable of taking this thing? You see something, and then you're just comparing everything. And then, recruiters don't make it easy. They're putting like, oh,
Yeah.
10 years plus experience,
Mhm.
this. You see on that list. So how do you actually do that?
Okay. So with the syndrome. Okay. So first of all, well, so I won't say for everybody, but for me, it happened to me. So my first tech job, so I was doubting myself that can I deliver? Can I do this? Can I deliver? Can I do this? But at the end of the day, you need to face your fear. So whether 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, there will always be this question of, oh, am I good enough? But trust me, you are good enough. I've been there, and I can tell you for a fact, you are good enough. When you own your skill, it makes you better. You might not be perfect yet, but you'll be getting closer. Now, for recruiters, hmm, I know, for most job description, they ask for 2 years, for entry roles, like they ask for 5 years and stuff. Yeah. So now, there are internships. So if they're just starting out, so it's better for you to. So now I started out as a solo software developer, which I think that made me not so visible. So now I used to advise anybody that wants to go into tech to learn in a boot camp or to go to a school, because it is very important. Because when I started out, as I was just learning all scattered, as I was learning from YouTube, learning from this person, a new trend will come out, I'll learn from this. So it made me just learn all look like it was all over the place. There was no structure. So when you're starting out in tech, it's better for you to more or less like start in a school that has a structure, and they will take you through the process. So they will help you to avoid the mistakes that I did. So your experience in a boot camp or a school will count. Why? Because you build projects, and when you build projects, you can put that on your CV. When I started out, I was just reading textbooks. I didn't build any projects, because so I thought that, oh, it was the first day I started writing code, and that would be the first that would be the first day that I'll start counting my experience. But I was wrong. It is when you start to build projects. So if you join a school today, and it takes you 6 months from a newbie to someone that can build a project, also the 6 months count, because you build project. So in regards the recruiters, so when you have like so many projects that you've built, he might help support your CV, because they want to look for the best candidate. But sometimes in the job description, they will tell you that if you don't have all the skills, is enough. No, it's like it's okay. You can still apply. That's why I said your skill has to be up there, because you are facing thousands of people when you apply for jobs, like thousands of people. So even if you get called for an interview, you must be able to prove to them that, oh, this is why I need to be in your company. So I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, amazing. You have actually. I've not yet seen any question from anyone, but then that would, I think, in that case, I'll just go ahead with asking the second question, which says that is LinkedIn enough for personal branding, or should we be active on other platforms? So I know you spoke about GitHub, you spoke a lot about LinkedIn, and then sometimes I think that okay, maybe is LinkedIn saturated or something like that. And actually, it's a very good place. But I've seen takes now of people coming up with there are other places you can find jobs on and all of that. So what do you think about that? That's the first. So let me just put the second question. Then there was something else I also saw. Somebody was like, "You guys, you take three." It was a recent thing, I think, just last week on LinkedIn actually. So they're like, "Oh, some of you will take courses, 3 months courses, 6 months courses, and then you come on LinkedIn and like, oh, congratulations to me, I'm now a let's say a product designer." And
Huh?
that kind of thing. Basically, was talking about the is it the process of building process and all of that. So I just want to like get your feedback on that, and I think that'll just be the last two questions if any other person doesn't have any question.
You guys can ask questions. Though.
You guys can ask questions. Though.
So you have
Yes,
the
please unmute to don't be shy. Writing, I don't know if Ikem is still here. I don't know if Francis is still here. Samuel, please unmute and ask question. So did you get that? And then you can just
yeah.
take everything.
So I will offer
So
the
I will.
second question first. Number one, don't let anybody talk you down. Don't let anybody talk you down. They will tell you you are not good enough. Yes. They will tell you you want to do a course for 3 months or something. Yes. But what you should not accept is people talking down on your knowledge. You might not be there yet, but you know where you're going to. Tech is a journey. I don't know everything yet. I'm still learning. So people that are not in your shoes or not in your space will try to tell you that you are doing the wrong thing, or they'll try to tell you that, oh, you are going for a course for 3 months, or those schools are just taking your money. No, is an investment. Tech is an investment that can bring you multiples of returns. But what you just need to just do is to start and focus on yourself now and be in a community of like minds. Now, for the first questions that personal branding and freelancing and stuff. Okay, now have done freelancing before. I've worked in a company. Okay, I'm currently working in a company. So with the aspect of freelancing, there are some websites you can go into. You can try Upwork. You can try Fiverr. You can try DropTow. So you can go into those websites. So I'll send those websites to the moderator. So I think she'll get across to you guys later. So I forgot to add it to my slide and stuff. So whether you are going for your personal branding, which is freelancing. So I talked about like knowing your worth and your pricing. Someone might come to you today and be like, so, can you build a mobile app for me for 50K? 50K in the economy of today? It's a no. Though some other people can collect it. Yeah. So now I started small. So, but now you start small and you grow big. For example, 2 years ago, okay, let's say I will charge a 500K to build a mobile app. That's 2 years ago. But have grown from 2 years till today. If so, let's say today, someone comes to me that they want to build a product or build something that has a website and as everything, because you know your worth, you'll be confident to call out a price. And if they are not willing to match your price, you just let them be, because you know the quality you can give. So you grow expensive, or you become more expensive per year, because you know what you've put in to build your skill. A lot of sleepless nights. You buy data. You come on. So tech, so being into tech is a good thing because it makes you focus. You can work remotely. You can set how you want to work, and it gives you this flexibility. So I have a question on the chat, and says seriously, is it easy to get into freelancing? Because something like a hard thing for. Okay, so I want to talk about freelancing. As I said, it has some websites which I wish I listed on my slide, but I will send them across to your moderator, so she will send them to you. So freelancing, she just more or less like branding, or just let people know what you are doing. So you can do open source. Just put yourself out there. So the thing is, the job will come when people know what you are doing. So, like, I just tell people, tell your family and friends that, oh, I'm doing this. Then, if there's any opportunity that you're doing this, they will let you know. Then another question says, I'm not sure I want to do freelancing. Please give me a full-time remote role. I beg.
No, it was not a question. I was just like adding to. You see, I've already done a bit of freelance, and I would say it's not easy. In fact, I'm not interested in all sincerity because they keep talking about. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they keep talking about Upwork. I've been on Upwork for like 3 years now. I'm not even joking, and I've not gotten any job. Like I even paid for mentorship. I paid for optimization. Nothing. So you see, and they keep saying it's easy. Everybody keep having like should I say standard of proposal that works. Nothing. I have proposal views and no jobs. So I feel like that platform is just too saturated. I tried Fiverr. It's also looking weird. What is going on here? So is it not freelancing? I'm not even sure I want to. Would you just give me a full-time role, please?
Okay. So in regards freelancing, so there's a shortage in tech at the moment, which I'm not going to lie to you guys about, because of the recession. There was recession, I think, last year. So a lot of like tech roles were redundant, especially from Google, from Microsoft. So, and those people that they lay off who want to find another job. So some of them go into freelancing. So which brings me to my point that just keep working on yourself, because you don't know when the opportunity will come, because the opportunity might just come as a flash, and the question will be, are you ready? So sometimes there's a phase of silence. It happens, like whereby nothing will come. But what you can just do is just keep learning, because tech is, you have to just you have to keep learning at all times. At every opportunity you have to continue to learn, because it is very important for you to upskill yourself, and for you to do what, upgrade yourself. So you just have to just keep on learning. Yeah.
There'll be a phase of
So
silence.
there'll be a phase of silence, but
Just keep learning.
just keep learning.
Thank you. Brighton, I see your hand. Fake, just keep learning and keep showing up excellently. Brighton, you can go ahead. I don't know. Okay.
Thank you very much. I don't, please confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Good evening, boss. Thank you for this section. It was well done. And so my question is around. I'm very glad that you're here on this call, because I think I've had this conversation with TS. So as a developer who is in the UK, you've tested the Nigerian tech space, and now you're in UK. So I would like to know, right, in terms of language, for instance. I understand. No, no, you see, some people will tell you that the language doesn't matter, but in terms of from your own experience in the UK market, what sort of language you think sells for back end? That is
Oh,
one.
okay.
And that is one. And then my second question is, let's say someone wants to is starting back end development as a newbie, like from scratch, and the person has the mind of going into the bigger market, into the big markets. I'm talking the UK, US, all of that. What strategy will you advise or will you give out to the person starting as a newbie? And if possible, if you can also add a time frame for that strategy. Maybe do this for first 6 months, and then maybe next 6 months try this route. So those are my questions. Thank you.
Yeah. So for your first questions, which is the language for backend. Now, I will let you guys on a secret. So the secret is study your environment, know what they are using. So if you compare UK and Nigeria, and Nigeria is an emerging country in terms of tech. Like tech in Nigeria just blows after COVID. Or no, from 2015, like from lack of Stack, Flutterwave. But when it was a mainstream in so I think Nigeria was 2020. UK has been up for tech for quite a long time. So when I was in Nigeria, yeah, so I started learning Flutter in 2019. So immediately after COVID, a lot of companies started to raise money. Most fintechs in Nigeria. So I work with Bankly. So she was a fintech in Nigeria. So they were using Flutter. So that. When I moved to the UK, I saw that they are using Flutter. Yeah, because Flutter is a cross-platform app that you can build 100 and iOS with, for those that don't know. So Flutter is mainstream in Nigeria. So I moved to the UK and I realized that Flutter is not really the mainstream here. There are companies that uses Flutter, and I know Flutter, which is all quite good. But I realized that what most of them use here is native Android, which is Java and Kotlin, and what native iOS. So what did I do? I started learning. No, I'd learned a native Android 5 years ago, but not quite because I switched to Flutter. So I dusted my native Android all over again because the UK market, there are jobs in native Android than there are jobs in Flutter. So which secret is study your environment, study the location you want to work in, study the location you are, and try to learn what they are using there. In the US accommodates everybody. Why? Because they are the hub of tech for old tech and for new tech. But there are some countries that are just like they are just starting. When you talk about Kenya too, it is like it's like a new tech hub. When you check Nigeria, and Nigeria just started tech after 2020 or so. And that was when it started blooming and stuff. So, which means today, if anybody should come from like advice, I would tell them to study their location. But if you're in Nigeria, it is advisable to learn Flutter than for you to learn native Android, simply because many companies use Flutter than native Android. So you see jobs in Flutter faster than in native Android. So in relative to the time taken, so the time taken is relative. So for the time taking, so it depends. You just have to just keep on applying. You go for interviews and just keep believing and just keep pushing. How what you just need is just 1 year. So you like sometimes you face rejection. It is normal. There will always be downtime. Just pick yourself up and continue doing what you're doing. Don't give up. All you just need is just a single yes. I hope I've answered your question.
Amazing. Brighton, I hope he has answered your question. Is there any other, part you may need clarification?
No. I think
Okay.
for the first one, you have answered. Thank you.
Okay. So for the sake of our time, I would like to suggest that we can connect with Oluwaseun on LinkedIn and then,
Oh,
ask further questions and all
yeah.
of that. There's a task that he actually has, yes, he has this scanning thing. So,
That's
but just before you go, you can just, your final words for the tonight, on this session.
so whether you are building software or anything, other than tech is about learning fast, being visible, and always adding value. There's room for all. There's room for all of us in this ecosystem. I can thrive, you can thrive, we can all thrive because the sky is the starting point, not the limit. Thank you, everyone. So if you can
Thank
sky,
you,
you
everyone. Please we need to let's appreciate our speaker for today. It's not easy. It's been 1 hour, of insight. I hope we're taking notes and then to put is it to practicalize what he has actually taught us. I'd like to suggest that we go right to our social media pages already and we share what we have learned from this session. Okay, I learned about building in silence or the silent, not building in silence, I mean, or maybe the silent phase, reaching out to your reaching out to your friends, your family, let them know what you are doing. So this is part of it. Let's take what we've learned from this session now and upload it. And one thing that I also mentioned was working on projects. And I think I'm really glad that like we're in the share school. They are actually like real world projects for us to work on even at the end of our 3 months. So I would like to encourage everyone to participate in that IT delivery project for those of us that are here. Thank you so much. TS, would you like to say something, Faith? Okay, so in the absence of anything, we can call it a night. Thank you so much. Have a
all right,
wonderful night, everyone.
everyone.
Bye. Good night.
Like,
Thank you so much.
yeah, doing is cool.